Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So today we're going to be talking about a mod or group of mods that I've initially been quite critical of and I haven't showed on the channel before. So these mods in particular are paid ship mods. I'm just going off of kind of my own experiences. Like, shipbuilding is probably one of the biggest parts of Starfield, if not the biggest. And I myself and many others in my community, we've created probably thousands of ships throughout Starfield's lifespan so far. And for me, the idea of creating ships and kind of selling them as a mod seems very disingenuous and kind of scammy, in my opinion. Now, the mod we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking through some of the ships. We're going to be picking one or two. This is by a creator called WK Baldwin. Now, no hate to them directly, because at the end of the day, Bethesda is allowing this as a mod. So, you know, ultimately, while the mod author may be doing this because they may be chancing their luck, they may think that their ships are worth the price. Ultimately, it comes down to Bethesda on what's valid versus what's not. Now, they do have some free mods, to be fair, which is nice, but they also have a few paid mods. Particularly, they have, just looking, I'm trying to give it the fairest example. I'm trying to pick one that would kind of make sense price point wise. I'm just looking at some of them. There's one here that I'm kind of interested in looking at, and the reason I'm looking at this one, this industrial transport ship, is it seems to, the mod author has kind of went into the CK and kind of fiddled with some things to add some technically new parts, which we will check out. This one in particular, see, when you look at this, it's hard to kind of tell. As someone who looks at this might look at it and be like, oh, that looks pretty vanilla, and for the most part it does. However, there is a certain aspect of the ship that I can see, and if you're familiar with the shipbuilder, you'll notice there is like a piece there that just behind the cockpit connected to that Deimos 1x1 hab. That looks to be a custom piece. If we scroll in here, I can't directly see it. Can't see it here, although looking at the picture, I can tell you there is a smaller version of the Deimos landing gear, and there seems to be a larger version as well. So we might pick this one. I'm just looking at some of the other ones. We also have the Constellation Fuel Jumper, which if you are a vanilla player, this does have a couple of custom parts. Now, if you're not using mods, a lot of these parts are going to be kind of inaccessible to you. But if you use the Better Flip and Better Snap mods, you can definitely get the majority of these parts. Now, there is one in particular, another part I see that is custom. You can kind of see it there between the just to the left of the grav drive and the missile pods. And to the right of one of the braking thrusters. That looks to be a custom piece. So yeah, when you buy these, depending on, again, we're going to go with this one, you seem to get a few versions of it. It's 200 credits, so it's about €2. The mod contains 6 ships. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The idea there of selling 6 ships, you're not really, I mean, technically it's 6 ships, but the same ships with different color schemes, which to me is a bit of a false, well, it's not technically false advertisements. So the mod, in the description, it mentioned that it has 2 custom-built VTOL engines modeled after the Deimos lifter gears that can be scaled up in size to fit its role. Enough power to move freight. It's got custom cargo modules, and it can be increased. Even though it was designed as a workhorse, it's sleek. The pack contains custom modules specifically designed to build the transport, but they can be used to build with your own creations, which is kind of interesting. We're going to look at them. That's kind of the big thing, is whether or not I think, or we think, I suppose this is a kind of out to you guys as well. To obtain the ships, you need to go to Mars, near Cydonia. Now, one thing I will say, let me see, does it say? Okay, it gives a big disclaimer on how to uninstall the mod, which I do appreciate. Fair play to you, Baldwin, for that, because I myself have accidentally uninstalled ship mods while in them and completely broke my save. So it does says the ship only uses assets from Starfield and does contain some custom modules created with the creation kit. Now, I do find that a little weird where it says like only assets from Starfield. I don't know what they mean by that specifically, as if like realistically, if it contained assets that were custom made out of Starfield, it'd probably be more advantageous price wise. I don't see anything about merging, and just looking at it, this ship is merged, which means that unless you're using merge mods, you're not going to be able to take it apart and put it back together easily. So I think we'll buy this one, and we'll go take a look at it. Obviously, for the purpose of this, we will be testing it on both Xbox and PC, but this isn't really a showcase, more so as a kind of my own kind of curiosity to see whether or not I believe there is value in what we get here. So let's go check that out, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're just in orbit above Mars, and we see the Bad Tech Industrial Transport Ship. It's just to the left, or it's like underneath Sidonia, but the same one. We're gonna go land in it. Hey, there's me cooking some food. Obviously, I feel like I need to reiterate multiple times. This is nothing directly against the mod author. Like, I'm not trying to hate the mod author or kind of direct any sort of negativity towards them outside of the scope of this mod. I'm just kind of looking at it from the point of view of somebody who is a very, very much a passionate shipbuilder and user of mods. And I just don't like the idea, right? So there's a transport ship here somewhere. Let me check the map. All right, so I think this is the terminal, potentially. Also a hab over there. Let's go over here. Oh. Main drill. What the fuck? Was I not supposed to land here? Oh, at the back here, Industrial Transport Ship Services. Okay. And credits. Okay. View and modify ships. Browse ships. Alright, there we go. So the Industrial Transport. The Bounty Transport. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're going to purchase the ship. Now, I will say, the fact that this doesn't make use of... Because normally when you put a ship into the game, via mods, if you want it to be sellable, you have to use Rooks's ship vendor framework. You don't need it for this, which is quite cool. Now, the only thing I will say is I'm assuming the mod author uses something similar, which if that's the case, if you do use this, I'm not necessarily recommending currently whether or not you should download this mod. I'm probably never going to. But if you do purchase this mod, be careful when using something like Falkland, because I know that the ship vendor framework does mess with the Falkland mod. So we've purchased one of the ships. So real quick, what we're going to do is I'm going to just modify very quickly and see what pieces they have available here. Is this just... Alright, so this looks like this is a vendor. Okay, this is a vendor that just has everything. Okay, and we've got some bad tech pieces. So they've made a backwards thruster, a sideways thruster, sideways hope tech pipes. Now, all of these exist in the Better Ship mod framework, or sorry, all these exist in Better Flips, Better Snap, and so you don't need to purchase this to get access. What makes that? What's difference in this, the bad tech one and the normal one? We got a spine 4. Sideways equipment plates. Sideways radiators. Bad tech landing gear port strut. So they've basically taken the... Okay, interesting. I just want to compare. What's the difference? Oh, okay. So the difference is that these have snap points on the side. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Um, all of these sort of snaps that you're seeing here, like this one and this one, um, basically every one of these, aside from the landing gear, exists in the Better Flips mod. I don't know why you would need to put 4. It does make me think that the mod author was trying to just pad out some of the stuff. Now, obviously, this is technically custom. I don't know why it's in don't know why it's in that structure. So we're gonna go real quick look at the weapons. Any new weapons? I don't think so. Okay, there is. Okay. So they've got the Bad Tech Obliterator and the Bad Tech Obliterator 2.5 ME Auto Alpha Beam, 2 variants. These are obviously custom assets and they're based on these here. Obviously, they're A-class, so the mod author basically duplicated the C-class version, made an A-class, and then they added some custom assets from in-game, which, like, that in itself is quite cool. Honestly, if you wanted to make a quick buck, you'd be better off just selling some of these. Like, these are obviously using pieces that don't exist in the ship builder. As you can see, there is the weapon there, but these are some parts that probably exist in the game world somewhere. I will say I don't like that the mod author just kind of made, like, cloned the C class and just made the A class. It kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. Do we have a custom shield? Do we? No, I don't think we do have a custom shield. Do we have a custom reactor? No. Grav drive? No, we have larger bad tech. Oh, what? What? Okay. So, the mod author made these landing gear larger and also gave them thrust. So they each give 3 power. So 26k engine thrust, 84 maneuvering thrust. So let me just double check what that would be compared to if we were to swap it with engines. I think probably a C class if I was guessing. I just passed it. Is it 26.5? No. Okay, so it's based on something. What is it? 26? I'm just looking. I'm guessing the mod author might have just tweaked some stats a little bit. It's hard to kind of determine. So they're custom, or not custom technically. Which I'm not against, but it's just a simple thing. Very kit bashy. Do we have any different fuel tanks? No. Engine wise, I don't think we have anything. Nope. Oh no, we do. We have another engine. So the mod author again has just taken the best A class or the best C class reactor, scaled it down to A class. See, again, from a building point of view, I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't mind this here because I've always thought that these landing gears should have some sort of thrust capabilities. But I don't like when you kind of take something that exists like the C class and then just, like, they didn't even rename it. Like some other mods, like for instance, Falklands adds in these ones. It adds like the A class is like the 1100, I think, Supernova, and then the B class is like 1500, and like it's actually scaled down so that it has engine thrust that's balanced. The same with these weapons. I don't like this. Again, it's a paid mod. You could say, Crimson, you don't need to buy it, and that's very true. But I do think, like, I want to try and be more kind of open about mods and kind of be critical of where it needs to be. Because I quite enjoy Starfield and the game as a whole, And I just feel like, you know, certain mods should be kind of questioned, while also certain mods should be praised. Now, I don't know if there's a custom cockpit. No, I don't think there's a custom cockpit. Is there custom cargo? No. Wait, did I see something there? Yeah, there is. So again, the mod author has taken the Deimos belly piece, and there's shield. What difference? So there's 4 versions. Again, I'm not like inherently. I don't mind that, because like if we were to compare it with, like, let's say for instance, let me see actually. So it's kind of similar in size to this. Obviously, it carries a little bit more, but when it comes to like the cargo capacity, you don't need to look too closely at them, because even Bethesda themselves, like, some of it doesn't make sense. You know, like how is this one able to carry more than this one? It just doesn't make sense from a lore point of view. But you know, and then I think that's it. So what we're gonna do now is we'll take a look at the ship first. Here it is. So, like, I will say the ship itself looks very cool. There is a lot of merging here, which means that you would not be able to take this ship apart safely. Now, looking at it, it's very clear that the mod author has made this in the CK, just going by the fact that they did some clever building techniques. I just don't... Just not overly. So what we're gonna do is we'll take it for a flight real quick. There it is there. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very cool ship. It's just, yeah, it's a very slippery slope when you start selling ships, in my opinion. Ultimately, Bethesda has allowed it, so, you know, I'm just... Most of this criticism is more towards kind of Bethesda. I would have hoped that they would have kind of had, like, hard limits on, like, what you can have as a mod. I apologize. Alright, so interior-wise, we've got a completely empty 3x1, where the mod author has taken everything out of it. See, this was something that I was kind of hoping, and we're still going to check, but this is something I was kind of hoping that we might, like, if the interiors were custom, I could maybe see it being, you know, worth the price. Okay. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You built this in the CK, which means you could place the doors wherever you wanted to. Why the fuck did you put a door directly or a ladder directly from the captain's quarters? That kind of like what they're on here. So it's quite barren. There may be some custom stuff here. I don't know though. Let's take it for a spin. And we're gonna head to New Atlantis real quick. Yeah, I don't think there's anything custom about this interior. We'll check out the weapons. Let's take off. So I think the whole premise behind this is that the mod author intends for those thrusters on the back to be like the main kind of maneuvering thrusters. I think that's what the mod author said. Oh. Okay, so to be fair to the mod author, they actually did add like, so the base engines, or the base thrusters, the landing gear doesn't thrust like that. It doesn't have thrust. Now you can tell it's not made the best, because you can kind of see, let me show you, you can kind of see where it's not really lined up. The mod author tried to make it, but obviously it looks a bit funky. Let's do, so what is the speed? Let me put more pips in the engine. Oh my god, this thing, I didn't even look. 75 pips? Fuck me. Again, this comes down to personal preference. I'm not a huge fan of ships being overly powerful. Boost speed is... Boost speed's honestly not that, nothing to write home about. What's the base speed? 150? Not too bad. Alright, so let me check the stats on the weapons real quick. So the weapons themselves don't really seem that much powerful. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take us to New Atlantis real quick, and we're gonna kind of do a teardown of the ship, and then we'll be back. Alright, hello. I'm back on Xbox very briefly. We're just down here. Just want to make sure that it all works for, you know, transparency point of view. I am curious where this goes to. Where does this go? Excuse me. Pick up. Is this... Wrong button. I always forget my buttons are different on Xbox. Is this... Yeah, this is the location of one of the quests. I'm not a huge fan of putting it here, personally. I mean, I don't think it would mess with the quests, but still. All right, we're gonna buy the junker. 120. Let's very quickly just go into modify. We're just gonna check all the pieces, make sure everything works. No issue. So I'm on Xbox on the 60 FPS setting. I'm on the 60 FPS setting on performance, just so anyone wondering. The bad tech pieces. Okay. Wait, they do have a custom reactor now that I think of it, because their power is so powerful. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Bad tech reactor, 70 fucking power. Are you serious? Well, and again, it's just a copy and paste of the DC-303 fast ignition. I mean, it says it is. It actually also doesn't require any perks. It just seems very half-arsey. Like, I feel like if you're going to do, like, you know, like, if you're doing a paid mod and you're going to have, like, these custom assets, like, at the very least, kind of reskin them, give them a little bit of lore, don't just completely be like, oh, yeah, it's basically the B-class, but A, with more power. Is there also... There's probably a grab drive. I just want to check if... I don't think there's, like, custom... Is there custom demos? Okay, so there is. Oh, okay. So they've got the bad tech demos cargo all in one. They've got Bay A, Bay B, living quarters. They all give 5,000 cargo. Okay. I will say, I wonder why the mod author went with the demos stuff as opposed to... What is in there? There's a cargo. Instead of Shroud. Shroud would have lined up better on the top. Do we have a bad tech grab drive here somewhere that gives us like mad thrust? What is the jump range? I can't even see the jump range actually. Yeah, we do. It's got 60 jump thrust. Again, this is... What is that? 12? What have they based it on? So what they took... They took the SGD doubled the gravity. At least they increased the hull and the health, which is kind of nice, and they gave it a little bit more power. But still, I'm just not a fan. Stuff like that. And then obviously we have the landing gear, which is like a bigger version, which I will say I actually kind of like this. Like, I like that it's bigger and that, like, the mod author, like, clearly tried something. Like, I feel like, the only really things that kind of make me think, like, okay, mod author did, like, a fair bit of work is the weapons. The weapons and these landing gear. But even then, I don't think it's worth €2. I know you may argue, Crimson, it's €2, like, or $2, like, one pound, whatever. One of them a different color? Why is one of them a different color? What the fuck? Okay, one of them's a different color. Alright, so we're gonna just do a quick run through and get... What the fuck? Did it? What? Let me just check some. Are we gonna buy that one? Okay, no, I thought... For some reason I thought that it was adding the credits. Again, not a fan of... Again, this is personal opinion. I'm not a fan of cheaty kind of mods. Like, the fact that it just adds the credits there. I kind of wish that you either had to pay for it or it was just, like, you know, kind of free. Sadir has kind of done some pretty good versions, like, of his ship mods where there's somewhere you can obviously buy, but then there's somewhere you just have, like, a little kind of, a token type thing, like a data pad. Again, I'm assuming there's a reason the mod author probably cleared all this out, maybe, like, space saving and stuff, but it just looks a bit funky. And it's such a pet peeve, but it's like, why is this ladder here? You may be thinking, Crimson, you're getting very pedantic and anal about things, and I am. Just because I'm, like I said, like, this is, like, these sort of ship stuff, it's very... I don't like it. And that's why I've been wanting to do a video on it for a while, but I'm always cautious because, like, one, I don't like to insult people. I don't like to draw hate because I know, like, I've seen firsthand what can happen when, like, you know, somebody with a following or a channel on YouTube or other, you know, avenues, like, kind of, like, makes a somewhat negative video. It's like the video I made about Winter's recent mod. Obviously, I was angry in that because of how it performed and stuff, but ultimately, I don't wish any sort of, like, hatred on the mod authors. Okay, so... Ship flies fine, or we're gonna head to New Atlantis and tear it down. Yeah, it's just yeah. I guess I'm just, if you kind of see me as like a Starfield purist, who loves and adores Starfield and wants to see it succeed. And, like, when it comes to mods and stuff, there's obviously a lot of mods that have allowed Starfield to kind of prosper even more, especially when we've kind of have no input from Bethesda, but there also is a lot of mods that are very divisive, and I do plan on kind of covering them and kind of giving my opinion, and just kind of, yeah, just kind of highlighting, you know, for the kind of casual viewer. Like, I will say, if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, Crimson, like, I like buying this ship, because I know I've had a few people kind of, when I mentioned these on stream, I've had a few people kind of reach out and say, like, oh, I don't mind, like, buying ships, I'm not good at building, and to that I say, I understand, but there's dozens of channels out there that do step-by-step on how to build ships, mine included. That was kind of what started the shipbuilding, or started my channel, was the ship aspect of the game. Like, to be completely honest, if you would ever, like, if anyone's watching this, if you ever want a ship built, if you, like, hit me up, leave a comment and be like, oh, Crimson, like, I'd really love a ship. Give me the specs of, like, what you want built. Like, you know, and I'll, like, you know, you want a bounty hunter ship that's A-class with, like, a specific color scheme, or, you know, like a Freestar Collective, and I'll build it. I'll either build it on stream and kind of do a step-by-step, or I'll do a video. Like, I love shipbuilding. Yeah, let's go and take a look at this. We're going to take it apart.
Sure. How about it?
Now, obviously, the thing is, if you take this apart, you're not getting it back together. I'm going to show you, first of all, what happens. Like, now, if you were to enable, let me just backpedal. If you go into your settings and you go down to accessibility and you enable, is it here? No, is it there? Or is it controls? Oh yeah, it's controls. You go to controls and you scroll all the way to the bottom and ship, flip, building, allow merging. You can build some of this, but merging, like I seen when I reviewed the Falkland mod, which is a really cool mod, I had quite a few comments from people basically being like, oh, I tried to like add on to the ship, but I couldn't because I couldn't put it back together. Merging is a very tricky thing to do. I have several guides on my channel of how to merge, and it takes a lot of time. Like if you watch like some of my earlier videos where I kind of build my own ships, where I know very brief merging compared to now. Like if you watch my most recent stream, like some of the stuff I put together it may look complex because I use a lot of mods and pieces, but it can be daunting. Now obviously with this feature turned on, you can do simple merges like this. But there's other merges like this one here. I don't know. Yeah, this one here, you're not going to get that back in there safely. So we're gonna tear the ship apart just to kind of get a feel of it. Just because I'm kind of interested. As you can see, it's using a lot of merge pieces, which I don't have a problem with merging. I am a big fan of merging. I honestly think that if the mod author was to release these as free packs, I would have did a review on them almost immediately because I think they look cool. But that price tag on it just makes me want to stay clear, and I'm only now doing it because I'm kind of framing this in a way that kind of it kind of is more of a kind of a conversation and an opinion piece. And yeah, like we've got this drop down merging. To my knowledge, and again, I don't know, I'm gonna check. I don't know if you can drop down merge anymore. Yeah, see, I don't think you can. Let me check. See, because the way they've changed it. Yeah, you can't. Wait, actually, that's probably because of this one. Let me just check. I want to check if you can do drop down merging. Haven't tested in a while. Yeah, you can't drop down merge anymore. No, it won't let you. So yeah, so some of this ship, you could merge. Most of it you can't unless you have mods enabled. Yeah, it's. And again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. No hate is directed towards the mod author. Like I will say, so let me just double check something real quick. What is this called? What is this ship called? Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm just searching when the ship came out. All right, there we go. So where is it? So the industrial transport ship originally launched. When did it come out? When did it come out? It originally came out on the 17th of the 10th, 2024. So it came out, when would that have been? Probably like just before Shattered Space. Now, if we go and look at, for instance, the Better Flip mod, I just want to check. So, Rooks's Better Ship Flip Parts mod came out on... The original version came out on the 6th of the... No, where's the original version? Why is there different versions? So the original version came out in June. So this... Because the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're already like Rooks's. A lot of these flips are already kind of they exist in the game by Rooks's mod. Now that's not to say that like Rooks doesn't like own. Let me go back. Rooks obviously doesn't own the right to flip mods. Like that's not how things go. But it just seems it seems a bit disingenuous that Rooks brought out the flip mod. It completely changed the dynamic of shipbuilding. And then this mod author basically went in and used a lot of like pieces that Rooks did. Like these flips existed. Now, again, I'm not saying this mod author may have never touched Rooks or even know who Rooks is, but it just seems kind of weird, It's kind of like it'd be like if another mod author was to bring out like a really cool like NIF scopes, like weapon attachments that added like hundreds of new weapon attachments for free. And then a mod author made a custom weapon, but they added a load of those attachments. And they technically, I'm not saying that the mod author, because clearly I have no way of proving that. And even though I wouldn't, because that's not how it works. But I just do think it's kind of a bad vibe, personally. Like, there is some custom pieces. We've got the weapons, which are kind of cool. The landing gear, which are very cool. And then we just have some reskins. All in all, I think that it's not my cup of tea. I don't think the mod author isn't necessarily doing anything wrong, like legally, or Bethesda have allowed this. Now, why the mod author chose to do it, even with Bethesda allowing it, is kind of another thing. That's where I kind of like. And again, everybody has different views. Like, this guy probably, he likes shipbuilding. He thought, I could probably make a quick buck if I sell my custom ships. Fair. But it's kind of an open, it's like an open, like a kind of a, it's like a how would you say it? Like it's kind of a, like a, like when you have like people like that are kind of in agreement with one another. Like, I'm a shipbuilder. I've made some ships. I could sell ships, but I wouldn't, because one, that's wrong. The whole point of the shipbuilding, this game, is to build ships, It's just, yeah, it's like, the only way I could kind of see it, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to be completely left field, and somebody could be like, Crimson, that's actually the case. But it almost would be like somebody, like, going into Minecraft and making, like, custom houses that are just, like, basically, normal houses that they built in-game, and then selling them as, like, mods, when you could go and build it yourself. Like, aside from the weapons here, and the landing gear, there's nothing here I couldn't reproduce myself. If I wanted to build this ship, like, one for one, I could do it. And I'd probably do it more balanced, to be honest with you. Like, this landing gear is cool, but it's completely unnecessary. These engines are more than capable of lifting it. Like, if we actually... Let me remove these landing gear for a minute. We remove these. Like, it has 40 as is. Yeah, we could merge them. Merge 2 more into it. We could merge 3 more into it, and you would have got 100 mobility. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I reiterate for like the 6th time, no hate towards the mod author. I would like you guys, your opinion. What do you think? Like, for people who are shipbuilders, what do you think? For people that are, who enjoy flying ships, may not be building it. And to anybody that has purchased this mod, let me know. Only this is a conversation piece. I have given my opinion. I tend to do that a lot. But I want to stress that it is just an opinion. While, I make Starfield content, that's pretty much it. I enjoy the game, but I'm not a final say on everything. I just like to talk a lot about stuff. If you think that I'm wrong in some of the things I'm saying, you think that that you have no problem with mod authors selling ships for in-game credits, that's perfectly acceptable. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.